Let's predict the World Cup game between Qatar and Switzerland. That's taking place in about 4 hours. And I do have a feeling that this game is squarely in the hands of Switzerland. It's up to them to mess it up. But I do believe, based on yesterday's results for Canada and Bosnia, they're actually going to win this game. Now, let's look at it. And Qatar are coming into the World Cup, having hosted the 2022 FIFA World Cup. And obviously, the forms have been a little bit different. And based on flash score, you can see the win probability 9 to 75%. You can see a couple of things, a couple of standout players right here. But I do have a feeling Switzerland is going to win this particular game. Now, it's more or less of an obvious choice because even the odds indicate something of that sort. Now, a clear mismatch, 16 odds to 1.21. But this is football. Something can happen. A red card can be issued to Switzerland in the first half. Or maybe Qatar can score fast, maybe based on a blunder, or maybe from something like a penalty, and then they defend the whole game. Which is really, really possible. But I'd kind of settle with Switzerland to score, considering that Canada and Bosnia settled out for a draw yesterday. Now, that's my first prediction, although I'm not really into it because for you to actually get anything of substance here, you'd need to kind of stake high on this. So it's not something I'd really, really consider. Now, it's good to always look at value for what you do. Have these two teams met? Yes, they met in 2018 in a friendly, and Qatar won 1-0. And the goal was scored by Afif. He's still playing today, and it was scored in the 86th minute. Now, as for the stats, we had 17 shots to Switzerland and 5 to Qatar. So in the first half, we had like 6 shots to Switzerland and 3 to Qatar. As for the corners, we had 4 corners to 1. And then as for the free kicks, they were on the low. We don't have throw-ins in this one. What else can we look into? Let's see the full match. We had about Switzerland getting about 9 corners. So a couple of markets that I'm kind of focusing on in this particular game are more or less what I would call risky markets, but they do have some value. And for this one, I'm backing Switzerland to at least get 10 throw-ins in the first half. That's what I'm looking into, especially considering Canada and Bosnia have already played. I'm backing them to get at least 10 throw-ins. Qatar are either going to come for the worst case scenario result, a draw. So that's why I'm looking at the throw-ins. If your bookmaker supports this, 9.5 throw-ins in the first half is a good market. As for the full time, I don't know what the throw-ins look like. The threshold is quite high, but still possible. It's still possible for Switzerland to get at least 20 throw-ins right there. But I've mentioned it's a risky market, this one. Because every time we have the hydration break in the 22nd, 23rd minute, if the flow of the throw-ins was going well, or even the fouls, they're changing right there and then. Something else I'm looking into is shots towards goal. Right here, I'm also going to go for a risky market in the first half. And my focus is specifically on Switzerland. And for this one, I'm more interested in the handicap market, and this one I'm handicapping minus 4.5. That is, let me see. Yes, I'm handicapping minus 4.5. That is Switzerland to start with a deficit of 5 and more or less hit more than that. I'm looking at them getting like 9 shots towards goal in the first half. And Qatar probably getting 2 shots towards goal, so that will have 1. If you do the math, that is actually going to be now 4-2. But you can also focus on the total market, which is a really good one, 7.5, because I do believe they would want to finish the job early in the first half. And if Shaka is there, Embolo, I think that is something that is going to happen right there. Now, the other market I've kind of looked into is for corners, and the corner market is also a good one. Now, depending on your bookmaker, there is a market I've seen called multi-corner, which is a multiplication of the first half corners and second half corners. Now, here is a value that I think is going to happen. For Switzerland, there is the 6.5 corner market, multi-corner market, which I believe will potentially happen. And these are multiplication of like 3 corners in the first half, 3 corners in the second half, or 4 corners in the first half and 2 corners in the second half. So a 6.5 corner market, that is multi-corner market, is something I'm looking to see. As for the total corners, I do have a feeling Switzerland will still get 6 corners at an odd of 5.5, which is really something I'd also look into. Nothing much I can say about these games right here, but we have to wait and see. As for the fouls, I don't know who's the referee in this particular game. It's an Argentinian, like what we had yesterday. No, it's Said Martinez from Honduras. And let us see what is, let's see how he kind of dishes out the yellow cards and gives the fouls. So what are the statistics? 27 fouls in the first half, 8. I see. Were there any yellow cards? Yes, there was one. And then the game for Pumas and San Diego, we had how many fouls? 23. First half, 6 fouls. Now it seems like not to issue too many fouls, so the fouls market is going to be tricky in this particular game. Let's see, fouls first half, 10.5. Fouls second half, maybe the second half we might have that number of fouls that is indicated right there, 10.5 at 1.36. I've noticed the second halves in most of the games actually getting more than 11 fouls, so that is something I'd kinda let you all know and put a focus into. But don't know if he has refed countries type of game, Canada versus Mexico, and then we've got Costa Rica versus Panama. So Canada versus Mexico, let's see the fouls. There were many fouls. There were about 43 fouls in the first half. We had about more or less 25 fouls. And then Costa Rica versus Panama, we had about 41 fouls in the first half. We had about 23 fouls. Now that changes things, especially when it comes to internationals. But what I've noticed is that with Qatar, let's see a couple of games they've played in the recent past. Qatar versus El Salvador, the number of fouls in this game were about 10 fouls for Qatar, 19 for El Salvador. In the first half we had about 14, and then the second half we had about 15. Ireland versus Qatar, we had about 9 fouls to 16. So for the first half we had about 12 fouls, and then the second half 13. So probably I'd still focus on more or less the second half fouls in this particular game, because although the odds are really low, 10.5 fouls in the second half at 1.36, that's more or less of a very tricky market right there. So that's something I'd highly look into and kinda see how I can navigate that. But of focus to me in this particular game is probably the low odd of a direct win of 1.21. That is a good one. And then we've got the throw-ins market for the first half, to be specific, for Switzerland to have at least 9.5 throw-ins. And then as for the shots towards goal, I'm also going for a risky market in the first half. right here of a handicap of 4.5 and also 7.5 for the shots towards goal for Switzerland. So let's see how they pan out, but those are more or less like 4 of my selections for this particular game. Let's wait and see what happens. Stay tuned. I'm going to be covering the Brazil versus Morocco game next, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching and all the best.